Most people don't quit their diet out of laziness. They quit because the brain has been programmed over millions of years to resist fat loss. Throughout millions of years of evolution, the human body has developed powerful mechanisms to prevent exactly what many people try to force today: rapid weight loss. Willpower alone is fighting against a much older, more complex, and far more persistent biological system. In this video, you'll understand why relying solely on discipline rarely works for sustainable fat loss, and what science has discovered about how the body responds to a calorie deficit. Saying that fat loss is just a matter of having enough willpower oversimplifies a process that involves virtually every system in the body. When you start a diet, especially a highly restrictive one, what happens inside you isn't simply adjusting habits. The body interprets the sudden drop in calories as a genuine threat to survival. The hypothalamus, a small but extremely powerful structure in the brain, kicks into action. It's responsible for maintaining the body's homeostasis, including ensuring you have enough energy to stay alive. When it detects less food coming in, it activates multiple mechanisms to protect your fat stores. You feel hungrier, stronger cravings for calorie-dense foods, and less energy motivation. This isn't weakness. It's an intelligent system trying to keep you fed. On top of that, your metabolism slows down. Your body starts burning fewer calories even while performing the same activities. It's as if it has switched into energy conservation mode. Hormones also work against you. Leptin, which signals satiety, drops, while ghrelin, which drives hunger, rises. The result? Less control and greater urge to eat. This is further amplified by the brain's reward system, which makes you seek out food as if it were a prize. Willpower might kickstart the process, but without understanding these mechanisms, it has little chance of sustaining it long term. For most of human history, having body fat was an evolutionary advantage. Storing energy as fat increased the odds of surviving periods of famine or food scarcity. That's why our bodies evolved powerful mechanisms to preserve those fat reserves as much as possible, even though today's environment is completely different. When you begin losing weight, your body doesn't understand that this is intentional. It perceives fat loss as a danger. This is when metabolic adaptation occurs, a response that reduces energy expenditure even at rest. As a result, weight loss slows down, even if you're still eating very little. Studies show that this adaptation can persist for a long time. A well-known example comes from former participants of the TV show, The Biggest Loser, who, even years after the competition, still had a slower metabolism than expected for their current body weight. Biologically, their bodies were still trying to recover the lost fat. Another key factor is the brain's reward system. Ultra-processed, highly caloric foods trigger the release of dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure. During a diet, this system becomes even more sensitive. The urge to eat something calorie-dense isn't just a want. It's a reinforced biological drive. In this way, fat loss stops being a simple equation of calories in versus calories out. It becomes a battle between conscious goals and unconscious mechanisms that operate 24/7 to conserve energy. Willpower functions like a battery. It has a charge, but it depletes with use. When someone tries to lose fat relying purely on discipline, they're depending on a limited resource and ignoring the significant mental fatigue this creates. A psychological concept known as ego depletion or ego exhaustion helps explain this. It describes self-control as functioning like a muscle. The more you have to resist temptations, make tough decisions, and force rigid habits, the weaker this muscle becomes throughout the day. That's why many relapses happen at night or during stressful periods. The mental energy has already been spent elsewhere. Now imagine this scenario combined with the biological effects we've already discussed: increased hunger, reduced energy, slower metabolism, and a brain constantly seeking pleasure from high-calorie foods. It's not just about wanting it enough. It's a constant overload, physical, emotional, and mental. Moreover, the culture of restrictive diets creates a vicious cycle of guilt. You eat something off-plan, feel bad about it, try to compensate with even more restriction, fail again, and reinforce the belief that you lack willpower. This damages self-esteem and makes the entire journey much harder. According to experts, the real solution lies in shifting the focus from willpower to long-term strategy, changing your environment, building sustainable habits, and respecting your body's signals. Willpower can help, but on its own, It's insufficient against a system that's simply trying to keep you alive. The notion that weight loss is just a matter of wanting it more ignores the full complexity of the human body. When you try to lose fat, you're not just fighting old habits. You're up against a biological system that evolved specifically to prevent exactly that. The brain, hormones, and metabolism shift into defense mode when they sense energy scarcity. They ramp up hunger, reduce calorie burn, and make the pleasure of food even harder to resist. In this context, relying solely on willpower is like trying to push a car uphill with no engine. This doesn't mean fat loss is impossible. It means the path needs to be smarter rather than stricter. It involves respecting the body's timeline, understanding its internal signals, avoiding extreme diets, and building a routine that works even on tough days. Strategy, consistency, and self-awareness are far more sustainable than any 30-day challenge. If this video helped you see the fat loss process in a new light, share in the comments. Which part made the most sense to you? Your experience could help open someone else's eyes too. And if you want more straightforward, no-nonsense content like this, subscribe to the channel. Science still has a lot to reveal about how the body truly works.